Welcome to the Monday, April 27, 2020, 5 p.m. closed session meeting of the Bell Garden City Council. The meeting will now come to order. Pursuant to Executive Order N2920, please be advised that the members of the Bell Garden City Council will participate in today's meeting telephonically. Council members and staff are participating from remote locations. Members of the public may view and listen to the meeting live online through the city's website as noted on the agenda. City Clerk, will you please call roll of the City Council?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Aceituno?
Present.
Barcena?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores?
Present.
And Mayor Cortez?
Public participation is now open. City Clerk, do we have any speakers?
We do not, Mayor.
At this point, I'm going to go ahead and close public participation. City Attorney, will you please announce our closed session item?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council, staff. At this time, the City Council will recess in the closed session. All members being present for discussion of the two items posted on today's closed session agenda.
Thank you, Rick. We will now recess for closed session. The City Council will reconvene to open session live online at 6. To the Monday, April 27, 2020 p.m. meeting of the Bell Garden Successor Agency, the Community Development Commission. The meeting will now come to order. Pursuant to Executive Order N2020, please be advised that members of the Bell Garden City Council will participate in today's meeting telephonically. Agency members and staff are participating from remote locations. Members of the public may view and listen to the meeting live online through the city's website as noted on the agenda. If any members should have a conflict of interest virtually, please leave the room by turning off video and muting yourself. You may still keep listening to the meeting. Okay, I'll go ahead and conduct tonight's Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand, those of us in the room. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we just saw a whole bunch of torsos. Okay, Agency Secretary, will you please call roll of the successor agency?
Yes, Madam Chair. Agency Member Aceituno?
Present.
Barcena?
Present.
Vice Chair Flores?
Present.
And Chair Cortez?
Okay, public participation is now open. Agency Secretary, do we have any speakers?
We do not have any speakers, Mayor.
Okay, I will close public participation. Moving on to the consent calendar, does any member wish to pull any item for separate discussion? I'll interpret the silence as no one wishes to pull any items. Jane, go ahead and mute.
It is me. It's
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move to approve the consent calendar. May I have a second?
Marco Barcena, seconds.
Thank you, Marco. And then I'll go ahead and do roll call. Councilmember Aceituno?
Yes.
Barcena?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores?
Present.
It's a yes. Mayor Pro Tem, yes. Okay, and myself, it's a yes. So we're gonna go ahead and approve the consent calendar with the 4-0 vote. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open public participation for the successor agency on non-agenda items. Do we have any speakers, City Clerk?
We have no speakers, Chair.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and close public participation. And now moving on to agency member comments. Does any agency member wish to make a comment? Okay, if there's no objection by the successor agency, I will now adjourn the successor agency meeting and call to order the City Council meeting. Good evening and welcome to the Monday, April 27, 2020, 6 p.m. regular meeting of the Bell Garden City Council. The meeting will now come to order. Pursuant to Executive Order N2920, please be advised that members of the Bell Garden City Council will participate in today's meeting telephonically. Council members and staff are participating from remote locations. Members of the public may view and listen to the meeting live online through the city's website as noted on the agenda. Conflict of interest. If any council member should have a conflict of interest virtually, please leave the room by turning off your video and muting yourself. You may still keep listening to the meeting. City Clerk, will you please call roll of the City Council?
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Aceituno,
Present.
Barcena,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores,
Present.
and Mayor Cortez.
Present. Okay, City Attorney, will you please give the closed session report?
Mayor, members of the City Council, the record should reflect that the City Council met in closed session. The City Council received a brief report from staff in the City Attorney's Office. The City Council did not take any final action today in closed session. Thank you. Mayor? Hello?
Okay, thank you, City Attorney.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay.
At this point, public participation on agenda items only is open. City Clerk, are there any speakers?
There are no speakers, Mayor.
No, the volume is good. It just like froze.
Oh, it's frozen.
If, yeah, it's back. It's good now. Okay, I'm sorry, City Clerk, you said we have no speakers?
That's correct. There are no speakers.
Okay, I will go ahead and close public. City Manager, will you please report?
Thank you, Mayor Cortez. Just briefly, I'd again like to thank staff for their continued effort during this COVID-19 crisis. So every day is something new. There are a lot of issues going on with the Quality Inn Hotel. There are your normal day-to-day issues going on in the city, plus additional issues just with schools being shut, a lot of people having time on their hands and issues related to those kind of matters. So staff's holding tight. At this point, it seems that everybody is generally healthy. You'll see masks, gloves, hand sanitizers. So from that perspective, things are moving very well. And I think we'll continue to put in extra effort and ensure that things run smoothly during the remainder of this crisis. That's all I have.
Thank you, City Manager. Moving on to consent calendar. Does council wish to pull any items for separate discussion? Okay, I'll go ahead and move to approve the consent calendar. May I have a second?
Second. Marco Barcena.
Second was by Councilmember Barcena. And I'm gonna go ahead and do roll call. Councilmember Aceituno.
Yes.
Councilmember Barcena.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores.
Yes.
And yes for myself, so consent calendar is approved unanimously 4-0. Okay, moving on to discussion item number 8, MOU for reimbursement, City Manager.
Thanks again, Mayor Cortez. So this item is really on the heels of what I think was a unique situation, and I think demonstrates the ability of staff to mobilize in a short amount of time and get things done. So a couple weeks back, we realized that the school district was not going to be able to provide meals for their students during the spring break time. And so there was a discussion of whether the city would be able to step in, and I had some reservations due to the logistics of providing upwards of 1,500 meals a day to students. That's not something we're normally doing. And so just getting the food, getting it passed out efficiently, and Rosanna Danto, our Director of Recreation Community Services, was able to mobilize and get that done. And I think that project was very successful. On the heels of that, she talked with Empowered for Life. That's a company that we've used for our supper meal programs in the past and our summer youth center meal programs. And also, that's the entity that we used for this school district program during spring break, and came up with the idea of potentially being able to provide meals in a supper program, which is a 3 to 4 p.m. program for children that are 1 year old to 18 years old, where they can come and actually receive a meal from 3 different locations within the city. And so we talked about it, and Roseanne put a lot of energy and effort into talking with the entity and also coming up with a way for us to do this that would be cost neutral to the city. So she's been able to negotiate an MOU where we can provide somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 meals per day and receive a reimbursement back to the city of $1 per meal to help cover the cost of the staff that would actually be helping to hand these meals out. And so what we're asking for is an approval of the attached MOU to provide such a meal program on a Monday through Friday year-round basis.
Thank you, City Manager. Is there any questions from the council? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and move to approve a memorandum of understanding and adopt resolution number 2020-30. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Flores. I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call. Councilmember Barcena?
So Member Barcena, yes.
Councilmember Aceituno?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
And yes for myself, so it passes with 4-0. City Manager, will you please announce discussion item number 9?
Thanks again, Mayor Cortez. This next item is an urgency ordinance enacting a temporary moratorium on property conversion utilization for COVID-19 quarantine, isolation facilities, or other similar efforts. This is a tag-along item to the issues that I think the council is well aware of with the Quality Inn Hotel being utilized by the county in a manner that didn't necessarily allow the city to understand what was happening, to discuss in a transparent manner the particulars about that facility with the residents, stakeholders, and with the county. And so what this ordinance does is basically says if you want to open up some type of facility like this in a hotel, a motel, in a commercial property, it would require you to get approval from the city prior to doing so. And so what would happen here, and we'll bring back some policies at the procedure actually at the next council meeting that would describe the process, but it would ensure that the city was able to understand what type of facility is there, what type of security is it, what are the characteristics of the people that would be accepted in the facility. At that time, it would be presumed that the city would be able to hold, public hearing, town halls, things of that nature to make sure that the residents were informed about, well, first off, that the council was informed about what was happening, and then so that the council can inform the residents prior to things occurring without the council's knowledge and without the residents' understanding. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I can't unmute. Oh, there you go. Any questions from the council?
really have a question. It's more of a comment for the listeners, whoever's watching online. I'd like you guys to know that we heard your concerns, and personally, our issue. Well, for me, my issue is not with the patients there. I know that there's a miscommunication, a misperception of what's actually going on. My issue is with the county, and their decision-making process. Historically, our communities have been disproportionately affected by the social economics statuses, right? So essentially, by inheriting more affluent cities, homeless population, we are creating ghettos. And I don't mean we, I mean the county government is gonna create that. And if history has taught us anything, is that the ghettos are not by de facto, right? They have in many cases been legislating into existence. So by implementing a policy like this, it's simply to protect the current and future quality life of our residents. I know that there's a letter that's going out around that, the mayor had signed, that we invited them. I don't know about that letter, and I'm not sure that I can tell you it wasn't related back to us or to me. So I don't think that in the future we would do that again, right? I mean, I don't think that we would sign something without really knowing what was going to happen. I feel that we were deceived by the county, and I want you guys to know that this is not an inhumane thing to do. This is the right thing to do. We have 2 police officers stationed out there who usually already risk their lives every day, but right now they're exposing themselves to an invisible threat that they cannot see, right? It's more than usual. So what's going to happen if our officers become infected with the virus and then still have to go and protect the rest of our residents? Not only do they get infected and they have families to go back to, but they're also imposing a threat to the rest of the community. So this is not just because we don't want people here that have the virus or because there's a homeless population. No, it's because it's not available to our residents. It's not available to the people who really need it in our community. Other countries are shutting down their borders to protect themselves. States in Mexico have, the whole military protecting themselves, not letting anybody come in with guns. We're doing the best we can, but now allowing this to continue. So I want you guys to go into this perspective that no, we're not trying to hurt anybody. We're just trying to protect our own like everybody else is doing. And inheriting other people's problems and populations isn't the way to, protect our city. So I want you guys to know that this is the best and most effective way to protect us from this continuing to happen.
Any other council comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, I'll go ahead and move to approve the urgency ordinance number 9, establishing a temporary moratorium on the conversion and or utilization of hotels, motels, and or commercial properties into quarantine isolation facilities and other related, as well as the COVID-19 related testing sites until May 31st, 2020, with the ability to extend further. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Aceituno.
I believe I second that.
And I'll go ahead and take it to a roll call.
I would like to go down on the record as I seconded, because I did. So if you want to retrace it back, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and take it to a roll call at this point. Councilmember Barcena?
Yes.
Councilmember Aceituno?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores? And yes for myself. Okay, moving on to public participation on non-agenda items. Do we have any speakers?
Yes, Mayor, we have 0 speakers that have requested to be called, but we did receive 1 email comment.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read the mute. Okay, I'll go ahead and read the email comment. It is from Rosie Pop. My name is Rosa Mercado. I'm a resident of Bell Gardens. My public comment is not terribly essential, but I do think it would be nice for the city to do some type of online celebration for graduating seniors at Bell Gardens High School. May 1st is the day that they will be deciding what college to attend, and I think it would be nice for the council to celebrate them now that they cannot do it at school. Also, my daughter told me 2 former BGHS students, Eric Herrera and Leslie Luqueño, will be pursuing PhDs. Eric is going to UC Berkeley for a PhD in math, and Leslie is going to Stanford for a PhD in sociology of education. This is pretty unheard of in Bell Gardens, and since they're both alums, I think the city should also celebrate their accomplishments. Graduation season is coming up, and I just think our kids need to be celebrated more often on a city scale now that they cannot do it at school. Thanks. Okay, do we have any additional?
No, we do not, Mayor.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close public comment now. Closing public participation. And I just want to mention for that public comment that was emailed in, thank you so much. I know Councilmember Barcena is currently working on a project for our seniors, our graduating seniors, and for our college students. So more to come from Councilmember Barcena. Moving on now to Councilmember comments. Councilmember Aceituno.
No comments.
Member Barcena.
No comment. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores.
Yes, I'd like to thank our code enforcement. I know they've been doing a fantastic job making sure that all of our essential businesses are practicing the stay-at-home orders and social distancing. So thank you so much, Gus, for implementing that. I saw the before and after pictures. They're great. Chief, I know that you have a lot of officers who are doing a lot for us. I know that there was a particular event in which they wished a certain little boy a happy birthday. So it's a wonderful thing to see amongst, the lives that we're living right now. So thank you so much. And to all the other departments, I know, Chow, you have a great team of gentlemen working every single day out on the street, regardless of the weather, regardless of the virus. They're there every single day. So thank you so much. It all goes back to the leadership that they're all under. So I thank you guys for being great and a great reflection, of leadership in all the departments. And Mike, you've done a great job communicating with us all the information. And it's not easy, but you're doing a great job. So thank you to everybody that's watching, and please know that we're here for you in these times. And although it's not something that we knew was going to happen and we weren't prepared for it, we are doing the best that we can, and we will continue to do that. And we're here to serve you guys, every single day. Also, Roseanne, I noticed that we're having a lot of more people coming to get the meal. So thank you so much. You guys are doing a great job, and you guys have our part-timers out there with a smile, happy, and they're so glad to be serving. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Flores. As far as my comments, again, thank you to staff. We said it every single week, everything that you do. I do want to remind everyone who's listening that we do have a supper program that began today. So I do want to thank our Parks and Recs Director, or Recreation Community Department, for spearheading that project. And that's an extension of the spring meals that we offer during spring break. So we are offering it from 3 different locations: Veterans Park, Ford Park, the Youth Center. From 3 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. We don't have an end date yet, so as of now, it's continuous. Make sure, our students or our kids 1 through 18 take advantage of this program and go out and get your foods. Also, Councilmember Aceituno and myself are working very hard to put together either a food pantry or food drive. We've been working on getting donations. We already received some, so thank you for our donors. And that's a project that's coming soon for our community. And we're also helping other family members that we know are in desperate need right now with some gift cards. So Councilmember Aceituno and myself will be doing that and spearheading that project. Other than that, everybody please stay home, stay safe, and have a blessed evening. With that, if there's no objection by the City Council, I will now adjourn the City Council meeting at 6:31 p.m.